Greetings, learners. Welcome to Research, Consultancy and Advisory subject under the Manifested Publishers Learning Platform, where we are looking at the theories of learning that have been put in the curriculum. And we are looking at selected research and consultancy theories. And today, we are going to look at situated learning theory. And the situated learning theory borrows a lot from the area of learning theories. It borrows ideas. And the situated learning theory and community of practice, as we have indicated, draws ideas of the learning theories, and situated learning theories indicate that every kind of learning that takes place must be situated in a particular context, and that's why the situated learning theory recognizes that there is no learning which is not situated, and emphasizes that the relational and negotiated character of knowledge and learning, as well as the engaged nature of the learning activities, this enhances the acquisition of knowledge and learning for the individuals concerned. And according to the situated learning theory, it is within communities that learning occurs, and these communities ensure the most effective learning processes. And communities can be work environments, communities can be schools, can be churches, and other areas of social organization. This theory of the situated learning theory was developed by Jean Lave and Etienne Wenger, and they focused on individuals and focused on the relationships that take place within the learning context. The elements of the situated learning theory are three, and the first one is content, the second one is context, and the third one is community. And when it comes to the content as an element of situated learning, these ones are the facts and processes that go into the learning environment within that particular content. And when it comes to context, these are situations, values, and environmental cues. Organizations do not operate in isolation. Organizations have the external environment, the internal environment, and the cues or the activities taking place within the environment trigger the learning processes that individuals go through. And when it comes to the community in the context of situated learning, then communities, these are the groups where the learning will take place. And these groups may be, for example, a department, maybe a section, maybe a school, maybe a religious, for example, outfit, as the case might be. The situated learning proponents provided a diagrammatic interpretation or depiction of the situated learning theory, and within this they put in the novice, who is expected to be the learner. And this particular representation has a periphery and has a center. And when it comes to the center of activities, the novice will be supported by an expert. So this expert supports this novice, who is the learner. This novice is also supported by this expert. And these experts could be, for example, consultants. Could be a consultant, could be, for example, a head of a department, IT manager, human resource manager, certified secretary, certified accountant. So these experts will be working and in a community of engagement. And what happens? The interaction takes place between the novice and the expert, So this could be a human resource department, for example. And this novice could be an individual who is working within the team in the human resource, for example, department. So this expert supports the novice interacts, and when these experts also communicate with each other, what happens? The novice learns and moves. So this novice will learn and move upwards, and also become an expert as they move towards the center. And what should be noted that within this particular situated learning context, when it comes to the community of practice, if you are looking at it, for example, from a company point of view, a company will have activities, a company will have artifacts. For example, a company will have, for example, a flag. A company will have, or a country will have, for example, a national anthem and so on that rallies the citizens of that particular country. There will be identities. What identifies this particular, for example, company? It could be a multinational company, and there will also be relationships. These relationships can be between the supply chain with people from outside the organization, may also be between Department A, Department B, Section A, Department C, or maybe the branches that an organization has. So when these activities take place, the artifacts or the history of that organization is also recounted. Then that informs the individuals who are in that particular working context. And then there'll be identities. Identities could be, for example, a human resource manager, finance manager, certified company secretary or company secretary, MD. So those identities will also lead to relationships between one department and another department. And once you have these relationships taking place, then this is the context of learning within the community of practice. Like now, you are aspiring to be certified public secretaries, or you could be aspiring to be a certified human resource manager, a certified accountant, or a medical doctor. So the community of practice provides the interaction where a novice and experts interact within that community of practice. And that's why the proponents of this particular theory, the situated learning theory, provide that when it comes to learning, every kind of learning must be situated within a given context for it to be effective.